what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was the APR Performance tune on the 718 Cayman S. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because when I was looking for information about this tune, I couldn't really find much. I had to go on the forums and search around a bit. So I thought I would make it easier for you guys that are on the fence about whether you guys should flash your ECU with the APR Performance tune. So, the first thing I have to say is that it is so worth it. It is the best amount of money I've ever spent on this car in terms of cost to power ratio. Now the Cayman S, I should say, comes stock with 350 horsepower and 309 foot-pounds of torque as reported by Porsche. Now APR got slightly different numbers. They got a little bit higher, around 330 foot-pounds of torque and I want to say around 370 horsepower. After flashing the ECU with the APR Performance tune, APR's dyno reported 395 horsepower to the wheel and 399 foot-pounds of torque. Now, these are pretty big upgrades when you think of $1,000 for the tune. There's not many mods out there that'll give you an extra 45 horsepower at least. Now, what I think Porsche is reporting are crank numbers. And APR, the numbers that I've got are wheel numbers. So, there is a minimum Now APR reporting 395 horsepower and 399 foot-pounds of torque, and Porsche's original 350 horsepower and 309 foot-pounds of torque. There's almost a 100 foot-pound torque gain. And man, do I feel it. The power is so much more linear going through the power band, anywhere above 2,500 RPM. It is a completely different car. This is the way Porsche should have released this car. Now Porsche has the 718 Cayman S detuned heavily from the factory. APR just changes the car to the way this car should have been manufactured from the factory. And the $1,000 plus the labor costs is the best amount of money that I've spent on this car. And I cannot recommend the APR tune anymore to anybody that is on the fence on whether or not they should get the tune or not. The results from the tune of this car is night and day. Now it sounds like 45 horsepower is not much of a gain, but if what I believe to be true, that Porsche's numbers are reported at the crank and APR's numbers, I know for a fact, is reported from the wheel, there is at least a 45 horsepower gain, if not more. And torque-wise, there is at least a 90 horsepower gain, if not 100. There is not a mod out there that you can spend less than $1,500 and gain those kinds of numbers. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. I would recommend it to anybody with the 718 Cayman S. Now, I'm not familiar with the other tunes that are offered, but the APR one works just fine. And currently, this car here, I'm getting ready to put up for the winter. I might be able to take it out a few more times, but it's starting to get cold here in Kentucky. So I want to get it out as much as I can. Now, I know you guys don't hear the car much, because I just went back and looked at the footage after the first part of the video. I went back and checked how the footage went, and you guys can't hear the car at all. I'm sorry about that, and it'll change. But I just want to get out here, make a video, see how it sounded, see if I needed audio equipment, which I do. The wind noise wasn't as bad as I expected, but I think that's at the cost of the sound of the car. So if you guys out there have any experience recording these POV videos and capturing great audio, please let me know down in the comment section. What I was thinking of getting was the binaural mics that actually go into my ear. So if you guys have any recommendations that are you know, not those, or you guys have used those equipment and have had good or bad experiences, please let me know down in the comment section, because I would love to get a lot more content out on this car. I've got a lot more planned for this car. I would like to get some exhaust work done. I've already got a air filter that has changed the sound of the turbo on this car significantly. Now, you guys probably can't hear it because of the absolute shit audio quality, but I'm working on it. So I'm just gonna stay quiet, and you guys can listen to the little bit that you can hear of this car. So an aspect of this car that wasn't really changed much by the tune was the pops and crackles, which is something I was surprised about. But this car from factory, it pops, and it pops loud. You get little burbles under 4,000, 5,000 RPM, but you start getting into letting the throttle go after 6,000, 5,000 RPM, it pops, and it pops loud. I'll get my audio capture figured out. I know right now it's not the best audio and you guys might be hearing some wind, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got at the moment. And by springtime next year, it'll be all better.